Hello friends, we are going to be doing a quick and easy tutorial. I got the idea this weekend to do this because I got the last figure that I was waiting for to complete this one, which was the Helena Shaw action figure from Dial of Destiny. So, quick tutorial on turning the build an accessory or build an artifact into an actual light up model. The only thing I had to do differently on this was cut out the nose, which is really easy if you use a hairdryer or warm water. You can cut that out very, very easily. And what we're going to use is wax paper, just regular old wax paper, or if you have it, you can also use parchment paper and a little piece of aluminum foil, a little piece of bubble wrap, and I'll show you why that in a moment, and one of these little flickering tea lights that you can get from Dollar Tree. And I think you get like 3 of them for $1, so, or $1.25, so it's fairly cheap. So without further ado, let's get to playing. So this is the back of the unit, and of course the skull goes on like this, the jaw goes on under that, and it looks awesome, you know, as the display for the Sankara stones. So the first thing we're going to do is take the aluminum foil that we got, and we're just going to push this in kind of like so. We only want that to be on the upper half. We don't want it to extend down into where the jaw piece is, because there shouldn't be any reflection there. But wherever there's a little bit of excess, just fold it up and kind of tuck it in. It's okay. It's just basically there to kind of reflect and bounce that light around. If you wanted to, you could put a little piece of tape in there as well, but usually it's quite enough just putting the aluminum foil and kind of bending it with your fingers, because what you're going to have is something like this, and when this goes in like so, you're not going to really see the reflection in there. So that's what we're looking for. Next thing we're going to do is going to be in the front of the face. Now right in here, if you have just the light in here, like without all of this prep, it's not very bright. It doesn't look good at all. It's basically you have this very bright light and then nothing really in the eyes. You just see it basically sticking out the nose. So what we're going to have to do is diffuse that a little bit. And what we do is we take our wax paper. Wax paper works a little bit better than the parchment paper, but what we're going to do is we're going to wrinkle it up like this. And what you get is a very diffused look, kind of like cracked ice or something like that, but the wax paper works really well because the wax on the very clear paper, but you just kind of rough it up with your hands until you get a nice diffused surface. Kind of looks like spider webs or something like that. And then what we're going to do is on the front is we're going to take this and kind of just press it in. Again, just following the contours that are there. And again, with any excess, you're just going to tuck that in. And the only thing that you really have to watch for is like in the cracks. If you get a little bit too aggressive, it's just going to look like paper. So you want to be sure to kind of even that out a little bit so it just looks like a flat surface back there, at least as much as you can. So by playing around with it for a little while, you can get it really looking nice. And then what we're going to do is to further diffuse that, this little piece of bubble wrap here makes for a nice fractal look, but we're going to just stick that in like so. And again, you want to make sure you can kind of manipulate the eyes with your fingers and kind of get those to look nice and organic there. See how that's looking much more flat. And wherever you have to retouch, just go back in and kind of play with it. But that's what we're looking for, you know, just like that. And then all of this excess, that's just going to fold back on itself in here. And again, the back cover of that skull is going to fit in there, so it's not going to be, you know, very, you know, obtrusive or anything like that. So once you have that, you have your back covered with foil and your front covered with the wax paper. And we're going to take our little tea light and turn that on like so. And we're going to just drop that right in to the foil. And the reflection does kind of push it back into the front of the skull. And we're going to lay that in something like that. And then of course the jaw piece is going to go in like that. So you have a nice diffused and kind of creepy looking, look to that. Now the Sankara stones themselves, if you remember, they come with one of the figures. I can't remember even which one now, but I think it was with the Temple Indie maybe, but it came with the regular, which I have mine displayed with one of the regular ones, and then it has these kind of light up ones. Now the cool thing is that they're somewhat translucent or transparent already. So if you basically get those ready to put into, and I'll move this down a little bit so you can see, but say this is our, our skull. We can take these, and there is an order to them, because if you look here, there's an asymmetry to the skull, so you have to put the short one where the short one's supposed to go and the long one, so you'll have to play around with that a little bit, and they don't stay in here very well, but kind of play around with the order and the position of how they're supposed to go in there. They don't make it easy, that's for sure. But you take these and you just balance them in there. Once you're setting up your display, of course, that isn't that big a deal. Okay, now this one's too big, so we're going to take the short stubby one out of this one and put that one in the nose. So for future references, the short one goes in the nose, and then the others kind of just pop in like that. And then to top it all off, you have the Cobra here. Now the only negative thing is it doesn't come with the riser, but I mean, I understand why they did that, because it would have to be so big, but this is what you're looking at with those Sankara stones in there. And it's actually pretty darn cool, to have the flickering lights, because it's a little bit more exciting than just having, the dull lights there. Those tea lights also, they last quite a bit, so you'll be able to have a nice display, for your Temple of Doom characters, and it's definitely a cool thing. And then maybe with some foam you can build up a little bit of a base to it, and that way it's at the right height for the other action figures. But it's really, really cheap if you're buying the figures anyway, and you have this build-in artifact, as they call it. It's about another $1.25, really. That's divided by 3, because it comes 3 to a package. So yeah, you can't get much cheaper than that for a cool light up prop. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you're having a little bit of fun with it. And even though the indie line is pretty much gone, it just gives us more fun to customize and hopefully make some of our own. So I hope this was fun for you, and we'll just keep doing the indie thing as we go.